Hello again. It's the old git. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Right, today I'm here to look at these people who accuse everybody of corruption. These people who are trying to destroy this man here, Nigel Farage. This man is under attack by the whole of the UK Parliament because they're afraid of him, because they know that he can do a great job, better than them. Now he has resigned, only to hopefully get elected again, to show that the people are behind him, and this is his way of doing it. But what I want to go into is they're trying to use the fact that he was gifted quite a lot of money, £5 million in fact, as a personal gift. Let's get rid of this wire because it's doing me head. Right, as a personal gift. £5 million. Okay, sounds like a lot. And the guy, we're going to go through, I'm going to be fair because I'm going to go through donations from people to the Labour Party and also to the Conservatives. And so that you can make your own minds up whether this man has done anything wrong. I believe he hasn't, but we will see. Now, just to let you know, thank you again to the person who subscribed to my channel. I'm trying to get enough money together to buy some new equipment because, as you probably see, it's difficult for me to do everything all on my own, and I want some user-friendly stuff so that I can just do a lot better videos than I do now. And since it's my birthday on the 20th of August, yes, 73 years old, or young, whatever you might say. I'd like you to say young. So if you want to donate, you can subscribe. Go to Rumble, because Rumble is where I mostly earn. Well, I don't earn any money, to be honest. I've got up to nearly, I'm on my way to 800,000 views, and you get very little money. I'm not one of these super, what do you call them, what the influence or anybody like that. I'm not one of them. I'm the old git, and I'm passionate about right and wrong politics, and that's why I do it, okay? But I would like to earn a bit more so I can buy some more equipment, but that's by the by. So let's get back to it, shall we? And we're going to first of all talk about, there's a couple of donors that questions have been asked about the Reform Party, but I want to talk about the one who donated the 5 million. His name is Christopher Harborne, okay? Christopher Harborne Sheriff. Oh, it's Christopher Charles Sheriff Harborne, born in December 1962. So, who is this chap? Here he is. Reform donor Christopher Harborne is worth about 18 billion. What's 5,000? What was it? How much did he give him? 5,000? No, 5. I forgot how much he gave him. But anyway, it's pennies to this man. 5 million, isn't it? 5 million, yes. You might think that's a lot. When you consider what these people, the kind of money that he has, it's not a lot. But who is he? Why is he donating? What is it? What's in it for him? Because is that the usual thing, or is it just because you believe in the politics of the man, or you believe that the man that's you're donating it to is going to do something good? So let's talk a bit about him. He's a British Thai billionaire and businessman and technology investor based in Thailand, of course. He holds Thai citizenship under the name Chakrit Sukunkrit. I think I said that right. I apologize for that. And you know, his Harborne was an early investor in the crypto coins, which I don't understand very much about. Harborne was early investor in Bitcoin and Ethereum cryptocurrencies. He owns approximately 12% of Tether Limited, the company that issues the Tether stablecoin. Now, he made a lot of money from this, so he's obviously savvy and he's obviously switched on. Now, if we look at his early life, Christopher was born on the 18th of December 1962 in Mossborough in Sheffield. to Edgar Harborne, an insurance investor, and Joan Harborne, of course, a housewife. One of his descendants was the English writer R.C. Sherriff. That's why I think the name Sherriff comes into his name and into the name of one of his companies. And he has two siblings, okay, including, sadly, his late sister Catherine, which you see there. Now, he went to Westminster School, then he went on to Downing College in Cambridge, which when he was there, he gained he gained an MA and ME English, right? And in 1988 he gained an MBA from this will get me, the Institute European d'Administration des Affaires, okay, which is commonly known as INSEAD. I should have said that in the first place. But anyway, he got an MA from there, okay. Now, so he's well qualified. He's a good, well-educated man. Cambridge, best schools, and so he's done well for himself. Well, let's look at his career. Harborne worked for 5 years as a management consultant at McKinsey & Co. And what he did as well, I put that up, blockchain. Before running a research company in Asia, he describes himself as an investor in new tech, including the open software blockchain. So, blockchain, so I'm shouting at the dog, blockchain, anybody who's on the computer knows about blockchain. So he gets into things, he knows what about it, he's got the eye, and he knows what to invest in, and he does well. He also runs a company called it's the Sheriff's Global Group. Now, he is the CEO of Sheriff's Global Group, which trades in private planes and aviation fuel. And the owner is a company called AML Global, which I believe is the firm that sells the aviation fuel. Now, what about Instead? Instead, isn't he? Here we go, we'll go back to them. He made donations to enable the founding of Instead San Francisco and to create a blockchain research fund, which means, you know, he's making money from blockchain, but he's putting money into blockchain. He's a clever man. Now, as of December 2019, he's based in Thailand, and according to the Times, Harborne's name features in the Panama Papers as an intermediary of companies linked to offshore accounts. Okay. Now, let's get into the donations, shall we? Now, let's go right back to Brexit Party, shall we? Harborne donated more than 6 million to the Brexit Party in 2019, 3 million in the summer, and then 3 million before the United Kingdom general election in 2019, making him the largest donor that year. Before switching his donation to the Brexit Party, he actually, Harborne, donated smaller sums, averaging 15,000 per annum since 2001, totaling about 270,000 to the Conservative Party. So, you know, he is obviously centre-right or right, whichever you want to say, because he donated to the Conservative Party. Now, let's just look at one of the donations here. In November 2022, Harborne donated £1 million to the office of Boris Johnson Limited. Not to the Conservative Party, but to Boris Johnson's company. One of the biggest donations ever made to an individual British politician. Now, what did that happen? What happened there? I mean, he gave Boris his money, and the government awarded Quintech, a company which Harborne was the largest single shareholder, uh, 80 million, £80 million Ministry of Defence contract, which is not bad. That was in January 2023. He acted as an advisor to Boris Johnson when he went on his trip to Kiev in September 2023 to meet Vladimir Zelensky. Oh, I'm not saying there's anything wrong, but he donated, it's not, no. We look at the present government with all the donations that Keir Starmer and his army got, didn't they? Lots of glasses and suits and houses and blah, blah, blah. We won't go into that because that's already been covered. But Boris got that £1 million paid into him. I didn't see much publicity. I didn't see him getting taken to court. I didn't see anything. But that's enough of Mr. Harborne. I think that Chris Harborne, as far as I'm concerned, is a very upright sort of bloke, knows a good deal when he sees it, gets stuck in and makes it happen. But now I'm going to look at the Labour Party, shall we? Yes, we'll look at the Labour Party. And one of their donors, and one of their biggest donors, is this man, Dale Vince. Green energy company Ecotricity has won one publicly highlighted government contracts in the recent year. Now, what was that? The firm was awarded a multi-million-pound contract to supply electricity to Greater London Authority, the GLA, which is managed by, of course, your friend of mine, Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. So he got it because Labour, left wing, left. You see he's wearing the typical Palestine, whatever it is they wear. This specific contract details included a value worth in excess of 3.5 million. Now, there was a timeline. Now, the supply of electricity to City Hall began in 2020, and the contract is scheduled to run through 2026. And it was awarded properly according to the process. According to City Hall, the contract was won through a competitive process. I wonder how many other companies were in the running for this. Aside from the commercial energy supply, the contract with Greater London Authority, right? Vince company also received, now this again, supposed to be a very wealthy man, but he received 15 million government-backed loan during the COVID-19 pandemic under the coronavirus large business interruption loan scheme. That's a big amount of money, but it was repaid early in full with interest. So rumour has it that he received something like 21 or more government contracts. Now that's unconfirmed. I don't want to be libelled, but I got that information. As far as I know, it's right, but then again it might not be. But okay, so he gets something back for his funding. But Vince has made donations to both Labour and to the Green Party, because he's eco, isn't he? He's in with the renewables. That's why it suits his business model to support these people, like the fanatics of Mad Ed Milliwatt, who's destroying business because they can't afford the electric. But anyway, shut up, stay on track. So he's given money to the Labour and the Green Party. And prior to 2015 UK general election, he was one of several celebrities who endorsed the parliamentary candidacy of the Green Party's Caroline Lucas. So, he's still backing the Greens because they're a thorn in the side. He endorsed the Labour Party in 2019 general election, and he made donations to various Labour MPs. Now, this is the first time I've heard this, and it's the first time that I've not been able to find out which MPs he gave money to and what for. And was it declared? I don't know. But there you go. But that's it. I mean, I'm not knocking it. That's what happens. And what I don't like, as well as environment protest groups like Just Stop Oil and Extinction Rebellion and Greenpeace and Sea Shepherd Conservation Society, he's given money to these. He funds these. And the protests and all the things that have been going on, you wonder where they get the placards from, Just Stop Oil, the Extinction Rebellion, and all the Palestine supporting people. And also now, in 2026, the Clacton by-election, which is the one that Nigel Farage is standing down so he can be re-elected, which I think he will be. Vince pledged his support for his opponent, Count Binface. Now, I've got a real problem with this. We, or the UK, is supposed to be, as far as I'm aware, the mother of all democracy. And everybody, a lot of people, a lot of countries follow the way that we do things. We're the leader. And when you see people dressing up in dustbins or coming on with various animal outfits or with stupid, they could never be a prime minister, they could never be an MP. They just come for the sheer hell of it because they can. But I don't believe that's right, because they're taking away from the people who are really meaningfully putting up what they want to do. I always feel the manifesto. They have something to offer the country. They're serious people, not jokers who just want to go in there and lose their deposit. Okay, it's a democracy, but I don't believe that. They should not be able to do that. The law should change on elections where people must be serious about what they believe in, and they must at least come in proper attire to the elections. But Dale, is supporting Count Binface. Okay. And also, the Forest Green raised the flag Palestine during the march in April 2022 in solidarity with the Palestinian people. He funded that, or he gave money for that. And Vince said Palestine has been under siege by Israel by land and sea for decades. And he also says the US allows this to pump billions into Israel to support its economy and its military, and uses its veto to block any meaningful action by the UN. I don't think that's completely right, Mr. Vince. Because, as far as I can see, the only people who ever police the world have saved our backside many times, and the rest of Europe, which unfortunately President Trump's not going to do anymore, and not going to support the UN the way it's going now. You cannot say that. They have the right to their country. Palestine was not even a word when the Jewish people had that land. Read the history books and you will see they had that land and more. Well, that's another story, and we can debate that whenever you like. He said the West's position in relation to Palestine stands in stark contradiction to our claims to be moral superiority. No, it doesn't. We are moral. We do have a moral. We don't hang people from cranes in the street. We don't drag people out of their houses and murder them. No, we don't do that. We don't throw gay people off buildings. So you cannot support that. Because the reason you're saying that, because Hamas are in charge, not the Palestine people. So I agree that most or a lot of Palestinian people would very much like for Hamas to disappear off the face of the earth. But unfortunately, what's happening is that their children are being indoctrinated from kindergarten into being, I'm going to die, I'm going to martyr for Allah, all this stuff that they get told and they're brought up with. And the mothers go out and say, my children, I'm having 5 children, they can be martyred for the... No. We have to stop that. That's what's got to be stopped. And by you making these claims doesn't make it easy. by supporting these groups who keep going out saying free Palestine. We can't free Palestine until they get rid of Hamas and put somebody there who wants to run a country to the benefit of its people. They've got a beautiful strip of land down there, could be one of the main tourist destinations of the world. It could be a fantastic place to go and visit, but not right now. So, he says that the civilization and sort of democratic values, Vince has been described as an anti-Israel and an anti-Zionist by the Jerusalem Post, which wrote that he was using the Forest Green Rovers as a means to promote his anti-Israel agenda. And after the 2025 Bondi Beach shooting, in which a gunman targeted Jewish events, Vince said, if anti-Semitism is rising in the world today, then surely, on any rational analysis, the biggest single cause of that will be the genocide of Palestine. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know how you can tie them things in together. You know that radical Islamists, not all Muslims, because we've got some good Muslims in England, the radicals who are infiltrating the good Muslims, who are putting the fear of God into, or the fear of Allah, so that they conform and they don't push out these people that are going to take you over, Vince. They're going to take over the country. Maybe later. I don't know. I've done videos before about that. We won't talk. But he does say, I condemn all acts of violence and all forms of racism. Well, that's well said. The comment was criticised by the Conservative Party politician Kevin Badenoch and Kevin Hollandrake when he was discussing these things. So, this is the kind of thing that goes on in politics. You can see from this the people that do the donations, why they do them, and I'm still sure 100% that Nigel Farage has done nothing wrong. You know? So let's get back to Nigel Farage and his 2024 gifted 5 million. That was shortly before Farage announced that he had decided to stand as a candidate in the year's general election. It was. But he had already come out of politics. And I know for a fact a lot of pressure was put on Nigel to get back into politics. The country felt he's needed. That's why the Reform Party grew very fast with many members. And from that day, every other party, every other MP that's in city government today is trying to get rid of him, to disclaim anything about it, do as much as they can to ruin him. Anyway, now Farage did not declare this gift at the time. This gift was disputed in May 2026 as whether it constituted a donation that should be registered. Okay. But a personal gift, don't forget, Boris Johnson got 1 million. Was that registered? Did it cause any controversy? Was there an inquiry into it? I don't think so. Well, I didn't see it. Perhaps put me right. And Farage did not disclose what he considered a personal gift to spend as he wished. However, the May 2020 Electoral Commission and the Parliamentary Commission for Standards began to investigate. Why? It's cut and dry. It was, ask the donor. The donor, I gave it to him. It's you know. But you have to understand that Harborne is very wealthy. And Harborne donated £9 million to Reform UK when it changed its name from the Brexit Party in 2025, and a further 3 million in March 2026, making him the largest single donor to the UK political party in a financial year in the UK's history. Why would he want to give money? He gives money to the party, and it's all registered and legal. But prior to that, he'd given some to. Why? You know, if you try to hide the money, It's ridiculous because Harbour is he's a donator of substantial wealth. And as April 2026, his donation to Reform UK Mad was actually given 22 million total, roughly 2/3 of the party's donations since its foundation. You know, let's stop all this. Stop trying to demonise this man here. He's done more out of politics in the 25 to 30 years he's been active than most politicians ever do in their whole life or whole time in Parliament. And I believe that he loves his country, he likes a pint of beer and a cigarette. He's a proper man. He doesn't need to do this. He could walk away tomorrow and go and live anywhere in the world. President Trump will probably give him a job like that. He doesn't have to do these things. At this point, I think I've said enough in regards to people who donate to political parties. It's a game, and if they can get away with not declaring, I'm sure most politicians, not most, there's many honest ones, shouldn't say that. But, you know, a bit of back pocket stuff doesn't hurt. Now, before I go today, I have to say this. The murder of Anne Widdecombe, a truly lovely woman, a woman with morals and scruples and all the rest that goes with being a politician and a spokesperson, as she was for Reform. She'll be sadly missed. I like people, old school people like her. And although the police are saying now they have a guy in custody who they believe murdered her, the whole information that's coming out is very contradictory to what. And I don't want to make people think of anything else. You have to go by what the police say. First it wasn't linked to terrorism, and all of a sudden the terrorist police are involved in the dealing with this man. Who knows? We don't know. I mean, it will eventually come out. But it's not good enough. People are now, this is just totally on the back of this video because things are moving at a fast pace and this murder is affecting the whole of the country. I'm going to say this. Understand. Hundreds of girls raped, some murdered, thievery going on in the streets, with just people walk in and take what they want, robberies of phones, beatings of innocent people, stabbings going on. It's not just random, because the people who want to take you over, and they're here now, because there's more people arrived in the country than there is of the British military forces. And many of them are hell-bent, and they say they hate us. They don't like our way of life, our society. They want to ban dogs, bacon, all sorts of other things they want to ban on their own law. And there's only one law of the land, which is the British, English law. It's all coming to the fore. And Anne Widdecombe's death is another one, like the lady Jo Cox and David Amos and others that have been attacked. And Nigel has been attacked many times. And he deserves, like all politicians, deserve proper security, because the world, especially the UK's world, is becoming dangerous, very dangerous. Not only for the ordinary person in the street, but for politicians. So, think on. My condolences go down and go out to Anne Widdecombe's family and friends, and hopefully a conclusion to why she was murdered we will get soon. Anyway, that's it for me today. I do always digress, as you know. The old git. I'm allowed my rant. I've had my rant, and now it's time to go. Till next time, stay safe.